All right. What's up, everyone? How is everyone doing? Let me take a look. Love from Pakistan. What's up, brother? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Top? What's up? Good morning, Antonio. What's up? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Alistair, my good morning. No worries. No worries. The Discord content is a little bit different from the Telegram. Yeah, for sure. It's also different videos. So uh, these videos are more for the Telegram and for the community here. And then my mentorship in the Discord is getting different videos as well. What's up, Leof? How you doing? Hey, good to see you, J Alex. Good to see you. Good morning from Massachusetts. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Nidhun? I'm sorry if I mispronounce any names or anything. I'm sorry. What's up, Hydra? Is this the Hydra? Is this the Hydra that I think it is? What's up, brother? What's up, Dalton? What's up, Tori? Tori. Great to see you. What's up, Foster? What's up, Damie? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's get it started. So today I wanted actually to do a little weekly forecast. Good evening. Oh, good evening. Great to see you here. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. I'm sorry. What's up, Marcus? So today I wanted to touch on weekly forecast a little bit, A to Z recap, and how we can actually now, for next week, what I want you to do is look at the structure that you got taught in the previous videos. So this week's videos on the A to Z guide. And then how can we actually use that in our trading? Because of course it's nice to see all that, but how can we actually use that in our trading itself? Love from India. Hey, great to hear it, brother. Great to hear it. What's up, Isam? What's up? What's up to Bless? Good afternoon from Nigeria. Beautiful country of beautiful people. From Morocco. Hey, the Moroccan people. Let's go. All right, so let's dive right into it, shall we? So right here we have some price action on the dollar. Now, last week, and I believe on the forecast on Sunday, last week's forecast on Sunday, I said something along the lines of, I believe we are pretty high, and I didn't like the ideas of longing right there. So what I wanted to see is maybe some sort of consolidation, maybe some sort of retracement, etc. But I didn't like the idea of looking for longs right there. And why not? Well, if you remember the video on when to avoid a London session and when is London ideal, etc., you usually avoid London after 3 big expansion days in a row. So consecutive up days, consecutive down days, etc. You usually avoid London. So that is not only for a weekly profile, right? Or sorry, that's not only for your London sessions, etc. That's a fractal thing. So that is on your weekly, that is on your monthly as well. You usually tend to see 3 candles, consecutive candles in a row, and then you see some sort of retracement or some sort of consolidation, etc. Of course, it's nothing set in stone, but these are probabilities that we're working with. So right here, I didn't like the idea of trading the dollar, so I went over to GBP Australian dollar is what I traded a lot this week. GBP Canadian dollar and Euro Australian dollar. Those were the 3 pairs that I was trading this week. So right here in the dollar, I did have this set, and now dollar is getting interesting again for me. It is getting pretty interesting because we came into that order block. If we are continuing higher, where are we likely continuing higher from? Remember the float, remember the lot. What is the last line of defense here? That is the last line of defense. What is the first line of defense? Well, we have this fair value gap, but I like to have something overlapping. So we have that order block right there. So right here, we are expanding higher currently off of NFP as well. So if we drop into the 4 hour, what I would want to see coming into next week, and I'm not sure if it happens Monday, Tuesday, whatever, we just have to react. So we have to be ready when we come into the week. What I would love to see is some sort of retracement on the 4 hour into a discount array. So again, into a fair value gap, maybe a BPR right here. And then the next thing is expanding higher. This expansion is where I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of the expansion before we take out this high. That is where I want to be part. Now, how can we actually be a part of that? First, we need to have some set of rules, right? we need to have something that price retraces into a new discount array, and then there, exactly at that spot, is where we can look for our entry pattern, and there we can get involved, and then we can write the expansion. So again, it is a step-by-step process. So again, if it happens Monday, Tuesday, that is very hard to tell right now because we don't have any more data to work with, and that's why it's hard to spot a weekly profile beforehand unless it's really high probability. And that's why you saw me predict the weekly profile somewhere around here, and it was pretty easy because it was very high probability. So right here, this is also high probability, don't get me wrong. So right here, I would want to see a move back into a discount rate and then a move higher. So what does this create? This is your structure that we talked about. So right here, we could be creating an intermediate term. Sorry, not an intermediate term low. Yes, also an intermediate term low, but first instance, a short-term low. So when we create a short-term low here, what does this become? An intermediate term low. So right now, we are actually trading the confirmation of the intermediate term low. So once we have that confirmed, then the entries are even higher probability. So when we make a swing low here, have a new displacement higher, and then we come back, that short-term low is protected, right? Until we take that high. That is even higher probability, that entry right there. So what I want you to do is don't get confused by price action here on the left. Tend to ignore it. That's what I do. I tend to ignore it. I don't see the benefit of trying to predict price where it will react off of here. No, the only thing I now want to see is I want to scout for longs. So I want to look for where can I get in to ride that expansion higher. And again, this is not financial advice, by the way. I'm talking like it will happen 100% guaranteed. This is not 100% guaranteed, right? You understand it by now. But when we know where price is going higher off of, most likely, then we already have our drawn liquidity. And that's so important to understand. So all these things come together. So if we dive into the 1 hour then, what is now our protected low? This is our protected low, maybe, hopefully. And then we create maybe a new intermediate term low right here. And then the market structure that we saw on the video, that is now inversed. So you're using intermediate term lows, short-term lows, etc. But it's the same premise. The market structure, so the 4 hour will likely create short-term lows. The 1 hour will likely create intermediate term lows. Again, you need to see this for yourself and play around with the time frames, because every time frame needs to be in context of one another. So it requires some experience to get used to it in a sense, but you'll get the hang of it. No worries. Just you need a consistent practice. So right here, these lows will likely hold until we take that high. And then once we take that high, what did we take? See what it is? It's an intermediate term high. That's our drawn liquidity. So if we take that high, what can we expect? Well, if we do not expand higher immediately, the thing is, if we do retrace, and that is if we do retrace, it's not a guaranteed thing. If we do retrace, then that low, this low right here, should now be the protected low. That low should not get violated. So then you will likely see something along the lines of that. And then what do? You zoom out again. And what do you zoom out for? You zoom out because you're looking for a new potential higher time frame discount rate that we can trade into and then continue higher from. So again, if the 4 hours already clean, when we take out that high, then you don't need to zoom out. But if there's a lot of price action in this lag before we take that out, then I would highly advise to zoom out. And there's likely some sort of daily fair value gap right there that we can trade back into, and then we can look for new potential longs. And that's the main thought process behind things. So that is important. And you can see everything is coming together. So it's all in harmony in a sense. So what I would expect for the dollar, I still expect higher prices. So this retracement wasn't really a shock to me because it's still a healthy pullback. That's the thing to understand. Are we going lower to go higher? That's a simple sentence you can ask yourself, right? Ahead of your analysis, maybe your session analysis, ask yourself, are we right now going lower to go higher eventually? Or are we going lower to actually go lower? And then you will zoom out, you will tell yourself a story, and it will become easier. Because what I had a lot of the times, and when I first started trading, I actually got caught up in trying to catch the Judas swing. So I was actually on the wrong side constantly of the Judas swing. So that is that's exactly why they do it, right? Because it's to trick in people. So when you get caught up in that Judas swing, it is normal, because that's what the price is actually doing. It's creating that momentum to trick in new people. So it's doing a great job at that. So right here, I still think on the dollar we are heading towards that monthly SIBI right there. And the thing is, what you need to do then is you need to scout for discount arrays that you can trade off of. So you need to be very aware where you can take an entry. Are we already expanding? So right here, for example, when we are already above this high, this is the same situation, right? When we are above that high, then I wouldn't look for new entries on the lower time frame. I need to first come back to some sort of discount array, and then there, exactly that spot. So right here, for example, exactly that spot is where I look for new entries. That's very important to understand, because otherwise you will be chasing price and you will get caught up in price action like this, for example. And that's not what you want to do. So let's go over some other pairs as well, right? I don't really use, I saw a question, do I look at the bonds? I currently don't really. I just look at the dollar, because currently the market is very decoupled and it just confuses me, to be honest. So I tend to ignore it. Just same for yields, tend to ignore it currently, just looking at the dollar. ES has been going higher again. It was going higher off of that fair value gap. That was pretty that was your float, so your first line of defense, etc. Pretty simple price action right there. And then what you would do here is the same thing, right? Before we take out that high or that ultimate terminus, that ultimate draw on liquidity, then right there is where you would, right here is where you would scout for entries before we take out that one. And then now, because we've already been expanding, is where you would wait for a retracement. And if that retracement doesn't happen, then that's perfectly fine. Then you would look at another pair, right? So Nasdaq going higher off of that fair value gap. Again, I don't like this price action when we are so high. We are making almost all-time highs. Like, I don't like that price action. But if we are continuing higher, I would expect a retracement into that and then continue higher. But maybe something on a weekly as well. We are creating a weekly fair value gap. So that's something to take into account as well, right? That there is a weekly fair value gap hovering just below that daily order block. So don't be surprised if it does sting into that weekly fair value gap. That doesn't change the market structure, then we would still be bullish. All right, Dow is heading towards that fair value gap right there. Pretty interesting. Afterwards, I do, if ES, Nasdaq are continuing higher, then I do expect Dow also to continue higher. But I'm expecting bullish prices on the dollar, and I'm also expecting bullish price on the indices. So you can already see this is very decoupled. The indices are in a difficult situation right now. They are very decoupled. So personally, I have not been trading them. I have been avoiding them because I don't like the price action of the current indices. So Australian dollar could continue lower off of here. Again, would have to see what it does right here. EU is just inverse dollar, of course. If it does want to continue lower here, then we have that order block right there sitting. So then you would expect the same thing right here on the dollar, right? So that's pretty interesting as well. Then this would be your target, your first target right there. Something fair value gap creation right there. Continuation lower. That is nice. I like that. I do like that. GU is in a difficult spot as well right now. No fair value gaps to work with. Whenever there's no fair value gaps, and I'll let you in on a little secret, I love fair value gaps. I absolutely love fair value gaps because fair value gaps, they tell you a story. So whenever there's no fair value gaps in price action like this, I avoid the whole pair. Whenever there's no fair value gaps on the time frame I'm looking at, I'm just avoiding it at all costs. because there's no narrative for me to tell myself, yes, on the 4 hour there's one, but if I can't tell myself a story on the daily, then how can the 4 hour be in context of the daily? And that's interesting, right? Do you analyze or trade indices? Yes, I do. I used to be full-time ES trader and DAX, but they sometimes get very unclear, so then I avoid them. For example, DAX has very, very weird cycles of price where it's very characteristic to Bitcoin as well, where we have an expansion and then it consolidates for just 3 weeks straight. And then you need to catch that expansion again, and it's pain in the ass. So right here, looking at this, I do actually believe that it might be continuing higher and make new all-time highs again. So that's pretty interesting. Doesn't look like it's respecting this, so could be heading higher. Use the Canadian dollar. This is interesting as well because you need to understand that high probability and low probability conditions are not only affecting your technicals, so they are also affecting your psychology. Because if you're trying to do analysis in low probability, if you're trying to force a trade in low probability, then you might take a loss earlier and that will affect your psychology, right? So it's not only a technical thing. Low probability and high probability conditions are there to avoid also for you to start over trading potentially, right? That is very important to understand. So yeah, let me take a look at some questions as well. I'll get into some questions, don't worry, I'll get into some questions right here. So right here, this is, you can see that the float and the lot right here is not following through. So the PD rates are not following through. Whenever there's PD rates that are not following through on either side of the market, that is low probability at its finest. That is seek and destroy at its absolute definition. So avoid. Right here, we have potentially that low could get swept into that value gap, but right now we are expanding higher. I do still have that target. So then again, it's the same case. How can we trade into that target? Look for ways to trade into that target. USD JPY had an entry right there for the mentorship. I didn't actually take it, but I forecasted it, and I told everyone right here, that is where we closed it, right there ahead of NFP, because it didn't really move. It was pretty stagnant, so that is where I would close it, because ahead of NFP, it's very important to understand that NFP is very predictable in a sense, but you only have to be wrong once, and there's no risk management involved. So NFP is not trading anymore. It's just purely gambling in a sense. It's very important. Let me go over some questions as well. Let me see, where was I? Mohammed, what's up, brother? Turtle Soup entries and SL, please. You can, I believe I'll go over that one as well, but you can take a look at the Turtle Soup videos if you want, and I'll give you an example right here. So if you were to enter off of this 1 hour fair value gap, and you were to enter on a 5 minute, then let's just take the 1 minute because it looks fancier. Then my mouse is tripping. Let me. All right, perfect. Then you would enter on a turtle soup of these highs, right? So here you would not cover just these highs and think, all right, I'm riding this till the bottom. No, because you are essentially trying to call a top. So if you're trying to call a top right here, then you need to cover at least the 1 hour fair value gap. So then you might have even got it taken out. And then you might even cover the highs, right? So you're essentially trying to call a top. So on turtle soups, it's essential that you have a pretty big stop loss. So that is why I personally don't trade turtle soups, because they look fancy. Yeah, one of those times, price will just come right here and then continue lower, and it looks like you called a top, but it's more of an ego game, because now you're going on to Twitter and you're thinking, oh, I called a top. Yes, perfectly fine. Yes, but your stop loss was all the way here, so you're not making more money essentially. So if you just have some patience, then this could have also been an entry, and then you can see way more RR. Doesn't look fancier, but it makes you more profit, and that's very important, right? So hello from Nepal. Hey, what's up, brother? Welcome, Amit. What's up? Great to see you here. What other trades content will you offer to watch? What do you mean? Do you mean like besides the A to Z guide, or because I do have some. I like the A to Z guide because it's very structured in a way, and I think people are benefiting off of it a lot. And I think with the A to Z guide, and correct me if I'm wrong, of course, but I think people are benefiting more off of it than that I'm just publishing a new clickbait video on 90-minute cycles and silver bullet stuff. Then it's nice, but it doesn't make sense, because if you just follow all the A to Z guide videos, then you truly have a system to work with, if that makes sense. And the concepts, you can see how the concepts form a team, as in the concepts are working together to create that trading plan. That's what the A to Z guide is for. And the I used to do it, don't get me wrong, but I think the videos like, oh, this is the best ICT trading model. Yes, but it's jack shit. You don't actually learn anything from it. Yes, you get to see someone else trading model, but you don't see how those concepts that he got to are actually forming that trading model, if that makes sense. And that is why I don't like those random videos anymore. And I think if we truly want to be profitable, there needs to be some form of structure from my side, of course. I want to deliver the best type of content for you to actually become profitable. And me throwing out there clickbaity stuff, short content stuff, you might see heavy editing on some certain trading videos where it's just constant new flashes, boom, 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 boom. I made 100k from funding, boom, 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 boom. Flashes everywhere, bam. You're not going to get profitable watching that, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just going on a little rant. It's not even it's not even applicable to your question anymore, but that's my thoughts. I think DXY will continue higher next week. Same, brother, same. We're on the same page. Let's go. Can I be profitable using order block with overlapping fair value gap? 100%, Sheldon. 100%. 100%. If you find it easy to spot that, then 100% stick to that. Perfectly fine. You can be the master of order blocks with overlapping fair value gap. That could be your own thing. That's insane, right? That could be pretty cool. Please check you. Yes, I believe I did when you asked the question. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course. What do you think about BPR on the 4 hours? Is it high probability zone? Yeah, I do like it. I do like it for sure. I think you were talking about the dollar and EU, right? I do like it. Yeah. You start looking for PD rates on the 4 hours, see more detail, but are still high time frame. So what I do, Marcus, is I go from I do my monthly analysis one time a month. So that I already have the monthly analysis in my mind, or in the site of Notion. And then the next thing is I go to the weekly. So I try to see where the weekly will expand to, and then daily, and then 4 hour. So it's all in context, if that makes sense. Are you accepting new students? If I pay in the link in your Twitter, could I get access to your community? So currently, great question, by the way. Currently, the enrollment for the masterclass are closed, but they open up again. So there are people on the wait list currently, and if you are on the wait list, then you will get accepted on the 19th of June, something around that number. 18th of June, something around there. So don't worry, you will get accepted. We just need to finish this enrollment. And of course, if you're purchasing lifetime access for the masterclass, then you get immediate access because you have lifetime. So you can look at the videos whenever. So it's not really relevant where you get enrolled. That makes sense. Hey man, I can explain. Oh, sorry. Let me see. Where did the question go? Here. Hey man, I can explain about ICT mini kills on the 90-minute cycle. I might go into it, but I personally wouldn't pay attention to it, because it's, if you see a lot of things on time on Twitter, etc., I would try to ignore it. It's really not that relevant as you think it is. It's nice, but it's more a hype than it's actually useful. So I would try to ignore it. If you do, what risk manager do you use and lot size for indices, right? I trade on IC markets, so it is CFDs. So I use magic keys. It's a Raja Banks product. The customer service is absolutely garbage for the thing. So I hope you don't get any errors when you buy it. But if you don't, then it's a nice tool. Magic keys automatically calculates the lot size, etc. for the CFDs. keep in mind that when you're trading my Forex funds, for example, you have a lot size limit of 200. So whenever that happens and you are trading CFDs have a big lot size number. So you need to maybe put in multiple orders at once. That is a bit of a pain in the ass. So then I would avoid going with my Forex funds. I already made it to class today. Been absent a few weeks, but I have watched all the videos. Thanks for sharing. Hey, love it, brother. No worries. Take your time with whatever you're doing. No worries. Love to see you here, man. Great to see you. Great to see you. Could you take a look at FTSE? Let me know if this is the right one. Oh, it's the UK 100 daily, right? Is this the right one? Is this the right one? Let me take a look. We came off of all those highs and we are now continuing lower. The first thing my mind goes to is this. That weekly fair value gap. Because if we do want to continue lower, then we have that weekly fair value gap with that weekly order block. I do like that. Because we also closed pretty high. So this order block could get disrespected. And we could see something like this, right? So don't be surprised if that does happen, right? If that does happen and you disrespected order block. Thank you for everything you've been put out for free. Hey, brother, I appreciate your support a lot, TraderMB. I know you're an OG, so I appreciate that a lot, brother. Appreciate it a lot. Do you trade commodities like GC and CL? No, I actually don't. I don't trade commodities a lot. I do sometimes look at them, but I don't really trade them. Hello, are you? Glad you're still here. I'm trying to translate this from Dutch. Great weather outside. It is a great weather. I hope you've also seen some sunlight, Samba. Great to see you here. Great to see you here. USD CHF, I think I went over, but I'll go over it for you again. So I would expect higher prices with this as drawn liquidity. That little line, that is a weekly order block. Right there. Then ask yourself, what can we continue higher off of to trade into that weekly order block? Whoa, since when did you become No, we don't say that name here, brother. No, joking. All love to him. But yeah, I just also have my opinions, of course. But nothing against him. I'm seeing market make bottle at CFJPY. Is that correct? Let me check for you, my friend. Let me see. Market maker buy model. So this is your OG, as I like to call it, your original consolidation. So I like to call it OG. It's of course OC actually, but I like to call it OG. Yes, this is a market maker buy model. The important thing behind your market maker buy model is of course the context behind it. So I would go into the higher time frame. Ooh, this is clean. Really, you spotted a very clean price action right here because we are coming off of something on a weekly. So if we are continuing higher, what is this? This is your first line of defense. So voila. Then this is your market maker buy model. So this is your target. These highs. Very clean, really, actually. Great spot. Great spot. I love this class. I love that you're here, Ricardo. I love to see you again. Especially because last week was your first time here, right? So I love seeing you here. I love it. A to Z is awesome, bro. But what is that? What is A to Z? Is it commodities? I know you're an expert of, I believe some people, when you trade commodities, right? It's just, you become an expert, right? I love to see that. Absolutely love to see that. Are you trading in these difficult conditions? On indices, I don't. Definitely don't trade on indices currently. But other pairs are very tradable. So dollar is, of course, in and out. So dollar last week was a pretty low probability for me. I explained it in the beginning of this live stream as well. And last week I explained it that we've been expanding higher a lot. So it was a bit lower probability for me. But then this week is again high probability. So in and out. I love the structure. It's what you're best at. Hey, love it, G-Sarks. Love it. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that a lot. And that's, yeah, it's also what I think I'm best at. When I can structure things. I like to believe, at least that's, and again, I don't want to fill my ego, but I like to believe that I'm very good as in explaining difficult things that need to be structured in a simple sense. That makes sense. That's what I believe I'm good at. So that's exactly why I'm trying to help. I'm doing well using AZU. Hey, love it. Great to hear. What is Spectre Trading? Spectre Trading is a private community, and I am one of the founders with Hugh on Twitter. You might know him, Hugh and Guyan. I'm sorry if I pronounce his name wrong. And Ismail. And we are founders of Spectre Trading, and currently a private community for some big Twitter names have been in the community. They come and go, etc. But we might do something with the public soon. So who knows? But it's currently a private community. I'm bearish on DXY and bullish on you and you. Oh, okay, Kimmel. Okay. I love that. I love that you're using your own logic and sticking to your own thing. That's a great thing. Great thing. I'll remember your name, but I can't even forget your name because I see you every time here. So I already remember you. Do you know where Nindo went? Nindo. Whoa, that's a. Whoa. Now that you say it, it's someone I asked a question to actually about ducks, etc. on Discord. Nindo. I believe you're talking about that Nindo, right? I'm not sure. Please have a look at the gold market. Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Let's look at some gold. Let's look at some gold. So I was preferring gold long, but since the dollar is now bearish, of course, we came into that bullish. Sorry, at least that's what I'm expecting. We might see if Kim is right. Who knows? So right here, we could continue lower, and I do think we are continuing lower. So I do think we're heading towards that low right there. So then again, would be the same story on EU, for example. Something along the lines of that could be very nice. Into that right there, that resistance level, then fair value gap, overlapping. Voila. Could be nice. You're doing great, very useful. Hey, thank you. Okay, talk about your mental edge. It's funny actually. Hey, what's up, Fabian? How you doing, brother? How you doing? Great to see you here. Mohammed, to get to your question, mental edge is funny actually. Because when we had NFP, I spoke about it in the Discord as well. And I don't trade NFP, and I actually kind of like those days where I don't trade NFP or I don't trade on Friday. Why? Well, we are already resetting and refreshing. So we are already resetting our mental game, our mental edge to get ready for next week. So we have been resetting. We have had 3 days, to fully reset and to get prepared for next week. Someone that was stressing over trying to trade NFP and trying to trade on the last day of the week on a Friday, and they were stressing, etc., they might take a loss. They will go into Monday with forcing stuff, etc. Now, think about the mental edge you have over someone that didn't get their rest, didn't get their proper reset in the weekend, etc., that was stressing on Friday. It is not so much, if we know trading is about psychology, right? It is more so psychology than technicals. So when we know this, it is not so much about how can I target my liquidity or how can I target your liquidity, and can I take you out of the market? No, it's more so who can keep their psychology in check the longest before someone fucks up, and then I take your liquidity by you over trading, in a sense. So that is your mental edge. So can you outcompete someone else and keep your psychology in check the longest? That's very important. So that is your mental edge. It is, and as well, when you go into drawdown, a lot of people start to risk more, will start to do stupid stuff. Can you stick to your rules of the drawdown you had and then get out of the drawdown slowly? That is where a lot of people will mess up. So that is your mental edge, in a sense. Hope that makes sense. Can I pick one thing from the A to Z and be profitable, and what would you think is the best one to pick? You can pick one of the PD rays or any concept you like and then stick to it. So if I would say the best one to pick, I would say what you said. So what you said earlier on is order block with fair value gaps, but definitely incorporate fair value gaps. That is very important in my opinion. What's up, Chandra? What's up? Love you from India. Love you back. Love to see it. Can you please share your notion template is going to help with your. I have if you go to the link in the description, there's a Zap link, and when you go onto that, at the all the way at the bottom, there is my journal that I use personally, and you can use that. What exactly was the click for you in trading? I feel like proper understanding of psychology is what will separate a great analyst from trader. 100%. So the click for me in trading was understanding that there are great traders out there, but that their models, etc., might not suit me. So, and that is where also responsibility, etc., comes in, and understanding that at a certain point you need to go your own way. So you need to develop your own trading model, and that can only be done by you studying price action on your own. And that is where you truly find your edge. So someone can tell you things and they might make sense. They might make it click, like a small click, but when you truly go into the price action yourself and apply the things he said, then you will give it your own twist and it will truly make more sense. That is the absolute beauty of things. When you do that, you will form your own edge. That's why I put a lot of emphasis on you need to study on your own as well, because I can tell you things, but when you don't study on your own, then it is just entertainment in a sense. It is just entertainment if you're not actually studying the things. That makes sense. We open it again after. So the masterclass, I think you're talking about the masterclass. The basic is always open, but the masterclass will close at the end of June again. So waiting list is now going on. But after that, in July and August, the masterclass will not open. So yeah, then the people that are in, and the rest needs to wait essentially. Unless I change my mind, but I'm also enjoying the summer holidays. So as well, summer price action might be a little bit more shit. So I am from Darbiata. Hey, love to see it, my brother. What's up, Saul? What's up? What's up? Oh, you're talking to the it's Morocco, right? Darbiata. Nice. How do you treat this situation? Your long bias in the trade and silver bullet gives a setup short. What do you do? All depends on what your high time frame bias was coming into that trade. If it still was long, then continue long. But that depends on the high time frame bias you have set out for yourself. Please help. What if there is fair value gap near buy side liquidity? Should you entry in fair value gap or wait for more confirmation more? When there is fair value gap in the lag, so whenever there's a fair value gap in the lag, and also depends on the higher time frame, because that's when you are already coming into a higher time frame discount rate, for example, you get your move away, and then you have buy side liquidity there, but you also have a fair value gap in that lag, then I would still enter that, because that fair value gap is indicating that that lag is likely going to hold. And especially since you have the higher time frame supporting that ID, then the buy side liquidity will not always get taken unless you reach a premium first. If that makes sense. Are you funded or are you trading with your own capital? I'm a private equity trader, so I trade with other people's capital. So you could say I'm funded, but not your usual prop firm. That makes sense. How to filter out a pair to trade for the week/day? Go over the pairs. We have a filtering process inside mentorship, but go over the pairs and see what price action is the cleanest for that day, and use the economic calendar as your roadmap. That's the most I can tell you right now. Hi Ario from Malaysia. Love your stocks. Hey Alex, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing, brother? Great to see you here. Hello, brother. Hey, what's up? What's up? Trying to become someone. Great to see you again. Hope you're doing all right, bro. If you knew about the 90-minute cycle, when did ICT touch the topic? Please say. ICT never actually touched on the 90-minute cycle. He's somewhere inside his Telegram, inside his old Telegram that is now gone. By the way, it's deleted. But inside that old Telegram, it was ICT's Telegram of himself. By the way, it was an official ICT Telegram. He touched on, I can do this every single 90-minute cycle. I only need one 90-minute cycle to do this stuff. Something along the lines of that, he said. So then people got into a crazy motherfucking rabbit hole, and they were like, oh shit, this is Enigma. And again, cycle continues, right? SOS trader, shiny object syndrome trader, they all had a blast. Can we trade with every order block, break block, mitigation block with liquidity target? For sure. But make sure you have some context behind it. What's your thoughts on trading gold? Uh, it's a funny question, actually. It is a great question as well. Gold is a very either an advanced pair or a noob pair. So what do I mean by that? A lot of people that just got into trading, they're trying to trade gold because it's very, you can make a lot of money real quick, but you can lose money real quick, lose a lot of money real quick. So again, if you know the concepts, if you have an edge, then gold is perfectly fine tradable as long as you don't start gambling. Like you see a lot of YouTube traders and Instagram traders, they are gambling on gold and showing their profits, etc. Whoa, gold is so fantastic because it moves so quick, etc. Yeah, it's gold. What's up, Fabian? Did you read my Insta messages? I didn't actually. I don't. To be honest, that's why we also do the live streams. It's nothing personal, but I don't really go over my Twitter DMs and Instagram DMs anymore because it's completely flooded. So if I answer one question of a person, then I already have the next question that replies to me. Then I have the next one, next one, next one, next one. It's continuous cycle. So it's an absolute mess. So again, if there is something I can do about that, then I would do it. But currently responding to everything, it's a full-time job. But I'll check your Insta message for sure. What would you say is a high probability order block? It is, I believe did I go over it in the order block videos? I'm not sure. But it is one that is first in line with your high time for context, and then it is in fair value gaps. So fair value gaps, that is left behind. Fabian, by the way, I also, I think you responded to the question thing in Instagram, right? On the story, but I can't see the replies somehow. So I'm not sure what happened. Not sure what happened. So if you have the question again, then just ask me and I'll go over it. No worries. Love from Liverpool, not long came across you and love the complexity of such complexity. Hey, love to hear it, Ryan. How are you doing from Liverpool all the way? You're a Scouser, right? Is that what it's called? Scouser, I believe. Love to hear it. Great to see you here, by the way, Ryan. Great to see you. Hi, Ariel. What do you think about doubling theory? Is it the theory about ICT's logo, the logo where it doubles, etc., and the symmetrical price moves? I'm not too familiar with it, but there's a lot of theories going on, and yeah, like symmetrical price swings, they tend to happen a lot, but that's just the nature of price. Just like it has fair value gaps, etc. There's some arguments to be made there on. It's difficult because, yeah, it's difficult. Let's keep it that way. I'm not too informed about doubling theory, to be honest. What's up? What's up? Hey, what's up, bro? What's up, Ollie? What's up? How you doing, brother? How are you doing? Actually, a masterclass member. What's up? What's up? How you doing? Hello, Ariel. Kindly explain what to look for price reaches PY. You can check the videos if you want to, and the structure is actually what to look for when we do reach a PY. So that is actually what we look for. That makes sense. Hey, I mean, your guide is awesome. Hey, love to hear it. Can I show your trades from this week? Explain. Sure, I'll go over one of them. I'll go over the one that I actually missed. So these were the pairs I was looking at. This was the longs and this was the shorts. Currently, of course, is different. So I'm not looking at these pairs anymore. I still have to do my full forecast. Which one was I looking at? Let me take a look. Which one was I looking at? I was looking at this daily fair value gap. And we came into it. Then I dropped down into the 15-minute right there. And this was a picture perfect setup. So we already had some confirmation here. Structure, intermediate term low right there. And then right here, respecting it. Another displacement higher than entry off of that order block right there. Covering this low now. This one should be protected. Then you have this as first target, but it's pretty close. So that is a nice target right there. Very clean setup. Should we mix all the blocks using liquidity? Yeah. It's all in harmony. Do you watch Formula 1? Great. It just started, right? What's Max doing? I do watch it. Yeah. I don't fully actively follow it, but I usually watch the highlights. Do you watch it? That's the question. Should we mix all the blocks using liquidity? Yeah. You mix everything and everything is in harmony in a sense. It's all based on liquidity. So the blocks are also liquidity. That makes sense. Hello, bro. Gold analysis. I went over it just a few minutes ago. So right here, I'm expecting lower prices right here. Target this line. That is a weekly order block from top of my head. Yeah, target that line. That's what I would target. What mentorship do you recommend to watch ICT? The full core content. After that, you're set for life. Of course, if you make your own logic around it, etc. The full core content, and then 22 and 2 mentorship is good, but it's more so 22 and 2 mentorship is more so an entry model. It's an entry pattern. And the core content is a true bias, etc. It's everything. Feels good to be in this live class. Thank you for being here, Dean. Absolutely appreciate it. Absolutely appreciate it a lot. Best mentorship ICT is 60, 70. Yeah, exactly. That core content. Yeah, that's the best one, I would say. Do you listen to music while you trade? I actually don't. There's not a specific reason as to why I don't, because when you use music, you can actually get into a very deep state of, how do you call it? The focus state. I forgot the name actually. It is a deep work state or something along the lines of that. It's deep focus state, something along the lines of that, when that music triggers that inside of you. But if I was listening to some type of music, I usually go to my usual Dutch hip hop or pop or something. And that's what I usually listen to. But it's a variety of music. It's everything. So, but I usually don't. But it's not a specific reason. It's just I usually don't. I'm usually too focused. When you talk about avoiding London session, does the 3-day expansion have to be in one direction? Yeah, exactly. Like either bullish or bearish direction. Please look at New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Let's do it. Let's do it. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Let's first take a look at the weekly. All right, we do have, can you see what I'm seeing? We do have a weekly fair value gap right there with what? Overlapping order block right there. So that is pretty nice actually. So if we can get something along the lines of this next week, remember that it's a weekly, so it might take some while, but something along the lines of that, I do like that. So that is already bias done, in my opinion, into that fair value gap, daily fair value gap. So if we can get something along the lines of that, that's pretty nice. I do like that. I do like it. Thank you for mentioning it, because I might add it to my watch list. How many PD rays do you use? Let's count them. I use swing highs. So that's liquidity pool, basically. So that is 1. Then I use fair value gaps. That is 2. Volume imbalance. But I prefer fair value gaps over volume imbalance. Volume imbalance I don't typically use a lot, I would say. Then order blocks, mitigation blocks, breaker blocks. That's about it. I don't really use rejection blocks, to be honest. It is the concept behind it, etc. is nice, but I don't really use them. So what is that? 5 PD rays, something like that. Hello, last time I knew from Mundo, he was on the DR Academy with the master. Yeah, right. He was on DR. Yeah, true. I met him in daytrader. I don't know if you know him from YouTube as well. daytrader. I met him in that server. I don't know if he remembers me, but I remember him. I don't know if he remembers me. Probably not, but I remember him. Hey Ariel, I'm still going through the A to Z guide. I'm really glad that I'm slowly understanding and actually going to the charts. Hey, love to hear it, Dalton. Great to hear. Take your time going through everything. No worries. It will always be there. There's no rush. Absolutely no rush. Take your time. Love to hear it. Please help. What if there's a fair value gap nearby liquidity future entry or entry to fair value gap? Yeah, I think I mentioned it a little bit earlier, right? What to anticipate if the daily time frame has no clear arrays and just gaps and consolidation? Ooh, stay out. It is a sign to look at another pair. That's the biggest sign. But you could... I wanted to say something about training seek and short conditions, but let me just not mention that right now. if that happens, you might want to trade the edges. So sweeps, you could trade sweeps on the lower time frame, but generally I would just stay out. It's low probability conditions, and reward yourself by not trading low probability conditions. You're doing yourself a favor by not getting involved in that. So it's very difficult to get a bias in low probability conditions, and that is also a hit on your ego, because every time you're doing an analysis, there's some bit of ego involved. Whether you like it or not, there's some bit of ego involved. So of course, if you're wrong, it will sting a little bit. Might not sting a lot, but it will sting a little bit, and will start maybe a doubt cycle where you start doubting yourself, etc. Mention 3 currency SMT pairs. If you're trading EU, you can use GU. So just change the first pair, the first currency, sorry. And then everything that ends in USD you can use. So even the dollar itself you can use. Hi brother, what's up Sifa? How you doing? Great to see you again here. Great to see you again. Do you trade one pair, one market, or do you make a watch list of few select pairs to trade for the week? The latter one. So I make a watch list, but you need to understand that I always emphasize on this. Before I head into my London session, I know which pair I want to trade. So I do my London analysis, and then exactly I focus on one pair. So I still trade one pair, but my analysis, my high time frame analysis is on multiple pairs, but I trade actually one pair for one session, if that makes sense. And that is very important to understand, because otherwise you will flicker through a lot of pairs during your trading session and you will mess everything up psychology wise, right? 90-minute cycles and counting candles are unconformed concepts until ICT Samson brings it out in a manager best to say exactly best to say away, or make your own logic behind it. But I don't know, it's 90-minute cycles and counting candles. It is somewhat nice if it works for you, of course, but it's usually the thought process behind using them is because you want that some sort of holy grail. Where did you start learning ICT? Love from a love brother. Love Mojo Rocks. What's up? What's up? So I started learning ICT. My first actual series, and that is a long time ago, is Market Maker Primer series. I watched that for the first time. That was the first series I actually watched off of ICT. Will you reopen a membership after June? Yeah, I probably will. But in the summer months, I will likely keep it closed. But how can I manage my emotions? It's so hard to manage. For sure, it is hard. It's tough. That's the toughest part of trading all along. So how can you manage that? Is becoming aware. And by becoming aware, I mean, you need to simplify your trading. And simplifying your trading, I always tell people this. Simplifying your trading is not simplifying because you are stupid and we are idiots and we don't understand the difficult concepts. No, that's not what simplifying is about. Simplifying is about simplifying the concepts that much that we are allowed to actually focus on our psychology during our trading, because we know our trading model is very simple. So we can have very much focus on our psychology. That's very important, right? Hi, what's up, Mo? What's up? What does it take to get a follow from you, boss? Ooh, I need to be very careful what I'm saying right here. But what would it take? I'm actually not sure. Sometimes I follow people back, but that's just when they do their own thing and I like what they're saying. So somewhat I agree. I probably agree with what you're saying. So if you post on Twitter or anything, I would like to follow you back for sure. Do this trade on Friday. Nice. Good stuff, Oza. Good stuff. Okay, please give a look at CL. What is it's cattle, right? Cattle or crude oil? Sorry, crude oil. Cattle. So let's take a look right here. Ooh, this is a difficult price action. We have still 26 days, so it's not really relevant. All right. I would say go lower. I would say still lower prices right here. So right here, because we are still, this was the last premium rate that got respected essentially, right? Then we have a new displacement lower. So this right here is already interesting premium rate to look for shorts off of. So that is interesting to take a look at. So I would say shorts going into next week. What are your favorite pairs for trading? Great question. I used to absolutely love DOX. Like DOX was my bread and butter, and ES as well. I used to love it, but Then they just went into a low probability cycle, and now I don't really have a favorite pair. But if I need to name a pair that I would trade forever, I would say DAX and ES. But I also like crude oil, actually. It's pretty clean, crude oil, most of the times. Well, how about Bitcoin? Bitcoin, I was looking at longs right here because we were coming into the monthly fair value gap right there, and still continuation higher until the monthly SIBI. Something along the lines of that. So that's what I'm still expecting. So expecting a higher price is currently still here. But again, this is so super characteristic of Bitcoin. That's just expansion, consolidation. A long consolidation, and then expansion again, long consolidation. Let me see. Do you forecast crypto on the streams? Yeah, I do. I do tend to forecast crypto as well. But mainly everything is based around Bitcoin, if I understand crypto correctly. Hello from Thailand. Been watching you. Hey, what's up, Toby? Great to see you here. Great content. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it a lot. Bro, I want to start risking 1%, but I just can't get any any tips to be comfy around high risk. Oh, that's a great question as well. So what is holding you back? Is it like usually what I always like to tell people is 1% risk when you feel uncomfortable trading that. A lot of people will tell you just decrease the risk, but that is not actually the right approach, because that is just sweeping it under the rug or sweeping it under the carpet, essentially. You're not actually fixing the problem. So you need to find the root cause of that problem. Why are you feeling uncomfortable? Is it because your financial situation at home or anything? It can be a very personal thing. So you might want to check that out. Hello, mentor. This is Caveman. I have Discord up and running. Hey, great to see, brother. Great to see you. Happy to see you here, by the way. Happy to see you here. Do you use a flexible risk manager or always same risk? Flexible. So it is constantly changing. You and Hydra are doing God's work. Keep it up. Thank you, Jimmy. Hydra is a absolutely lovely guy. Absolutely lovely guy. Thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate it a lot. How many trades do you take in a week? It varies a lot depending on the probabilities, but I would say on average there is around 4 trades for me that are absolutely high probability. 4 trades maybe. And they could be in the same day or anything, but those are the days. What's your average win rate? My average win rate is currently like around 80%. Flow, you know, Moneyball. Let's go. Can you determine order flow on lower time frame? It is something I go to in very in depth in the mentorship as well. But order flow, try to pay attention to the premium and discount rates that are holding. I'm sorry, I would love to explain it fully, but I have some obligation towards the mentorship as well. How long you are trading and since when are you profitable? I've been trading for around 3 years now. I would say I became profitable pretty fast. I was profitable with my first strategy, but the thing is I wanted something better. So that led me into the shiny object syndrome. And then eventually when I stick to the same thing, I would say around a year right now. Around a year, I'm actually fully 100% profitable and using the same method, etc., etc. But I've been profitable since the beginning, but just again, a lot of people can relate to it, I think. Shiny object syndrome, you think you need something better, and then it just all messes it up. Bro, I want to start risking. I went over there. Yeah, all right. Look at your chart, gold. There's fair value gap near liquidity. Why don't you trade there? There is in discount too. This one. This one right here. I wouldn't trade this because essentially this is not part of your first line of defense or your last line of defense. So I wouldn't trade that. If you go over that video and apply it, then you can see that this isn't part of your current order flow. That makes sense. So I wouldn't take a trade right here to continue higher. That's not what I would expect. It's not reasonable in my opinion. Bloed, zweet en tranen. Exactly, Kim. Blood, sweat and tears. EU, what you want to see a reaction to the 4-hour fair value gap and clean sell side liquidity. Let's take a look. Here. Yeah, this one right here, right? Yeah, that's clean. clean. Also, what am I looking at? Nice. Good stuff. Should we use all blocks using liquidity as targets? Yes, but everything is liquidity. I think I've mentioned your question already, I believe. Please, what is the video where the Notion template is? Oh, I don't think it's a video. It's a tweet. It was a tweet, but it's link in this description. So of this current video, there's a zap.bio. At the bottom of that, there is either one Notion that is called everything so far. So that is Ario's helping hand, I believe. And there you have all my stuff. And inside there is also a journal. Can you please talk about how to frame daily buys? I talk about it in the A to Z guide fully, because I can tell you right now, but it won't make sense. There's a lot of concepts that go into it. So if you follow along with the A to Z guide, then you can frame daily buys. I'm trying to develop a strategy of market maker buy model. Can you please elaborate ST? Many times we don't see a sharp turn, or maybe my concept of ST is wrong. ST, it's a mentorship thing, but it is basically displacement in, displacement out. So that's it. Displacement in, displacement out. That is very important to understand for an ST. It's a sharp turn. It's somewhat like a BPR, but it doesn't have to be a BPR. Love from Ethiopia. Hey, love. Love from the Netherlands, my brother. Love from India. Love from the Netherlands. Great to see you all here. How do you use currency index? How do you use you apply your same high time analysis that you would do on any other pair, and then you use it for correlated assets? How do you have you different models for different market conditions? If there is no, to answer your question straight away, no, I don't. I know how to trade seek and destroy, because we usually have seek and destroy conditions or trending conditions. That's either one of the two mostly. So I know how to trade seek and destroy conditions, but I don't like to trade it. So then I look at pairs that are in trending conditions. Stephen Kotler's book, The Art of Impossible, is a great read. He's discussed how to find flow and how to stay. Oh, flow. Yeah, exactly. Flow. Yeah, that's exactly. I was wondering why did you say flow? But yeah, exactly. Flow. That's the one. That's interesting. The Art of Impossible. Let me write it down as well. Hi, Ario. Busy learning ICT 2022 mentorship. I'm extremely mistake finding the correct liquidity. No worries. If you're just learning out 2022 mentorship, no worries at all. No worries. You still have a lot of time on your hands. No worries. You can take your time. Don't rush it. You will get to the right liquidity. 100%. Can you watch EU and this 60 low if the data range sells at liquidity? I don't really use IPTA data ranges, but yeah, that is part of your... is this also in your IPTA data range? Let me check, actually. Let me check. Yeah, so this low would be in your IPTA data range. So that could still be a target, right? Love from the UK. Love. How are my UK brothers doing? And sisters, of course. What do you think how markets will move after summer, which from +2, +1 settlements and payout happen this summer? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it will affect it even at all. Because in a sense, it would still be the same thing, right? It's just... yeah, I'm not sure how it would affect, if even at all affected. Maybe the market will get even cleaner. Who knows? I'm not sure. We would have to see, but to be honest, I believe you won't really recognize it. What you will have, though, be careful when we move from T+2 to T+1 settlements. There will be a lot of people on Twitter and Instagram that will tell you some new holy grail. Don't fall for it. Be very aware of that. It's a perfect opportunity for new people to come up with a new concept and say, oh yes, time is important. So hey, here you have it. Here you have a new concept. Very important. Proper risk management will also help manage your emotions. Yeah, exactly. 100%, Dean. 100%. Could you please help explain the ICT silver bullet strategy and also how to use gold back levels? And when trading gold back levels is right, the round levels, right? I personally don't really use it. From the core content, what I remember is that if ICT has an order block, for example, you use the round level for that order block. So for example, you have This order block, what level is that order block at? 07702. So then he would use 07700. That's, I believe, a gold back level, but I'm not sure. And silver bullet, I go over it in the A to Z guide as well. I will go over it, and I'll go over it in the market maker model video as well if you want to check that out. It's the last entry before terminus. The last entry before taking drawn liquidity. Please give deeper analysis on New Zealand dollar, US dollar. That is the analysis, my brother. That is the analysis. Right here, if we move into that, then I would look for short. That is the whole analysis. You don't need more. So how can we deliver into that? That is the first question to ask yourself. How can we deliver into that? And how can we come from here to there? That's it. Hello, bro. GBP CHF for sure. Let me take a look. GBP CHF. We have a daily fair value. I immediately like this. Daily fair value gap right there. Let me check the weekly just to be certain. All right, all right. We have daily fair value gap right there. So something along the lines of that. And I would look for longs right there. So not shorts, shorting into that. No, look for longs right there. That is what I would do. Are you live trading? I do live trading in the mentorship. Yes, sir. Lots of respect. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate you a lot, man. Appreciate all the kind words. Love for everyone, man. It means a lot to me. Do you think prop firm challenges must be approached in an aggressive way, even if it means losing 50% of the challenge? If you have no time limit, then there's no reason to do it aggressively. Then if you do have a time limit, as in you need to pass, you need to get 10%, for example, FTMO, the update, absolute nonsense. the minimum trading days to 4 days. Like it's a bit weird, but okay. But if you're trading with FTMO, yes, then you need to be pretty aggressive because you have a time limit. That makes sense. Order flow is, to be honest, order flow is the first line of defense and last line of defense. That is order flow. Weather in London is amazing. Hey, nice to hear. Weather here in Amsterdam is also very nice. Do you also use flood and lot to know your drawn liquidity? Yes, it is drawn liquidity. That is the definition of knowing the draw liquidity. If you combine that on every time frame, then you will get to a drawn liquidity. Love from Pakistan. Love, brag, brother. Love. Great to see you, Adnan. Love the questions. Gold. I'm in month 12 core content, which ICT playlist should I look for now? It took me months in market maker primer and core content, but I will submit the time as ICT says. What I would do in your situation is you've just watched a shitload on information, which is great, but try to see how you can actually apply that before moving on to any next playlist. And if you already like what you have, then don't even watch a next playlist. Hi sir, there are various macros that ICT talks about. Please comment on them or make a video teaching about them. Jimmy, what's up, Jimmy? The macros, I touched a bit in the beginning on the live stream on them. They are not that important as you think they are. That's just all I'm going to tell you about it currently. I will touch on it in the HC guide, but macros are not that important as you think they are. Maybe if you're trading on a 1 second time frame, but don't know anybody who does that. Well, I do know, but you don't want to be trading on the 1 second time frame. GVO still hold for short. Yeah, nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Could be. Could for sure be right here. Especially with this reaction right there. Very, very great short opportunity. Let's see. IC says to start with market maker primer after 2022. Should we skip that and go to core content? Says come say it covers market maker primer and more. Yeah, market maker primer is pretty basic in a sense. Of course it's important, but it's pretty basic stuff. Core content is, if you watch core content, you have everything you need. That's always what I tell people. Core content is everything you need. Thanks a lot, bro. Thank you, Brown. Thank you, brother. Thank you. What should we respect with liquidity, wicks or body? What do you mean? When we respect liquidity, we should wick the wicks, if that makes sense. How long are you profitable trader? I think I answered your question a few minutes ago. Okay, sir, keyword work. I remember when I DM'd the question in Insta and you replied in no time. Hey, love to hear it. Love to hear it. Again, my DMs currently are a bit fluid, so sorry if I took a while to reply. Can we use OB and liquidity along with PD? Yeah, 100%. What are your favorite timeframes for entries? Depends on which premium or discount array I'm looking at. And on that note, I am going to end it right here. Next week, A to Z guide, we will again. Wicks are always distractions. Exactly. Boston knows what's up. Let's go. On that note, core content is not explainable in 2-3 sentences. But on that note, I would say it's a whole training plan. Core content. A whole training plan. On that note, I'm going to end this stream right here. I want to thank everyone for showing up. I'm going to take a rest. I would advise you to do the same. Take care trading this week. Again, remember what we talked about. I'm expecting a higher dollar. But again, if you expect lower dollar, that is perfectly fine. Do your own analysis. You can compare it with mine, of course, or take inspiration from it. But do your own analysis. If you are looking at shorts on the dollar, that is perfectly fine. I want to thank you all. And I will see you at the next video on Tuesday, A to Z guide. And otherwise, I will see you, of course, live stream every single Sunday. Thank you all. Maybe we can do a midweek live stream, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty busy, so we'll have to see. So join the Telegram to be updated on that. Perfect. Thank you all. Take care. Trade safe. And go smash it like no one else. Let's go. And keep that psychology in check. Very important. All right. Perfect. Thank you.